Let me bring in now Mark Cancian, Senior Advisor at Washington Center for Strategic and International Studies. Mark, welcome back to the programme. First of all, for those of us who don't speak tank, just explain to us the benefits of Leopard 2 tanks over other tanks involved in this war.
Well, the Leopard 2s are much better than what the Ukrainians already have, and they're better than most of the Russian tanks also. They have a couple of advantages. One of them is that they're less vulnerable because the ammunition is not stored in the crew compartment. They also have much better fire control, which means that they can spot targets at a longer range and hit targets at a longer range. They can also fire on the move more effectively. That is, as a tank is moving across the terrain, the gun will automatically stabilize and be able to fire and hit a target. So it's an excellent tank.
OK, understood. So what does the delivery of those tanks mean for this conflict as it now enters its second year?
Well, it's certainly going to be helpful for the Ukrainian military because it is a better tank than what they already have. But you have to keep in mind first that the Ukrainians already have 800 tanks. So sending 15 Leopards here and 15 Leopards there is not going to make a major effect on the battlefield. You really have to get over 100. The Ukrainians want 300 to have a significant effect. The other thing is, there's no such thing as a game changer or a silver bullet in this war. There's no weapon or technology that will break open the war and produce victory. Victory will come from the cumulative effect of many different weapons and munitions and training and the resolve of the Ukrainian people. So Leopards are helpful, but they are not a game changer.
I mean, there are suggestions that Ukraine might need up to perhaps 500 tanks to meet the supposed planned Russian offensive. Presumably more tanks will have to follow the seemingly small number announced so far in the last few hours.
Well, that's right. To have a battlefield effect, then the Ukrainians are going to have to get probably hundreds of tanks. They've asked for 300. The tanks are very useful in offensive operations, particularly useful, and the Ukrainians are expected to launch an offensive, so they would help the Ukrainians there. But you have a question of numbers. There are about 3,600 Leopard tanks out there. Many countries have them, so there are many opportunities to get those tanks to Ukraine. It's going to take a lot of diplomatic effort to go around the world and literally get 15 here, 20 there, and put together a number that's large enough to have a battlefield effect.
It's very easy on a day like today to get sidelined by numbers of tanks and their capabilities. How much of the outcome of this conflict will come down to hardware versus diplomacy?
Well, certainly Ukraine wants to regain its territory, and that's going to be a military question. At some point, everyone expects that there will be negotiations, but in the near term, the two sides look very far apart. Both of them are preparing offensives, and the Ukrainians have indicated they want to reconquer all of their territory. So unfortunately, the war is going to go on for a while longer.
Mark, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming back on the programme. Mark Cancian from the Washington Center for Strategic and International Studies.